Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity, the 9 o'clock location view of Hay, who is actually going to be the player of interest doing a highlight match for the StarCraft Reddit Invitational. If you go to screddit.com, you can see all of the information there. It's absolutely going to be a fantastic, fantastic event. First of all, you have a lot of the Reddit community StarCraft players going up against pros. Hay is unsurprisingly one of the finalists. He's pretty much a regular in the weekly tournaments in the top 4, top 8, and I think he's won 2 of them. I might need to correct my numbers there. Is really known for really specifically an early macro style. He tends to go 1 barracks, 2 barracks into expansion, or he'll sometimes go proximity, but otherwise, it tends to be that with some additional pressure, which is a very difficult sort of style to pull off, particularly against Zerg. 3 o'clock location, we have Cheticus, by the way. He's going to be our other highlight, I guess. I don't think he's one of the finalists, though. 3 o'clock pink Zerg, very strong Zerg player, though, on Metalopolis, a very macro-oriented map, which is going to play perfectly for Hay, because again, known really for his macro style and really strong micromanagement, really good map presence. Well, I wouldn't say map presence. He's really good kind of splitting attacks that he executes in particular. Anyway, by the way, about the SC Reddit Invitational, it's going to be awesome. A lot of awesome casters, first of all, and I almost feel egotistical saying that because I'm one of them. But you have In Control, you have Day 9, you have DJ Wheat, you have Total Biscuit joining me for the casting. You have just a lot of fantastic players, Marlon and Machine among them. Again, a lot of great sponsors. Justin.tv, huge sponsor. You have Zen Magnets, which I believe you can see some of their YouTube videos. I thought they were very entertaining with actually calling out. And this is stereotypical Hay right here, actually going 2 barracks into expansion sort of build. And really the trick for this for Hay is, and again, it's very difficult to execute. And if I was going to say there's one weakness from Hay, it would be the counterattacks. He tends to overextend himself a little bit, but generally what you're trying to do is you're trying to get your Zerg opponent to overproduce Zerglings with this. So you're producing Marines, you're still planning on going expansion, but you're going to produce a lot of Marines very quickly. That's going to be very threatening. You're looking for overproduction of Zerglings, and at largest benefit, you're hoping they do an all-in. It looks like there's been a fast expansion from Cheticus, and you have a Disco drone here at the natural, just checking in case there was a bunker proxy, a little bit of an SCV drone fight here, it looks like, at the 12 o'clock location, but this Marine is going to break that action up, and the drone's going to need to do a turnaround. Run for your life, drone. Oof, down to 1 health, just escaping in that SCV in hot pursuit, so I don't know. Well, it looks like he's going to make it home, but he's not going to make it home happy. Already up to 4 health, so imba, that drone regeneration rate. Natural expansion almost up for Cheticus. Looks like several drones being pulled off to expand in natural, and definitely wants to save that. Oof, that's extreme warning to that SCV. You chase, you're going to have to fight against a lot of my friends as well. And here you go, 8 Zerglings, 10 Zerglings, 12 Zerglings produced already, seeing against that early Marine, against this 2 barracks early pressure. So it really, again, that's what this is supposed to incite. And the purpose of that is, as you can see, 18 harvesters versus 15. It's to slow down that harvester count. So even though there is some map control in favor of Cheticus at the moment, it's a calculated sacrifice to retake it in the mid-game, and there's that command center being built very safely on the interior. Really, the trick is, and this is a good amount of Marines too, which might be able to engage these Zerglings kind of piecemeal, but let's see. This is kind of the delicate situation, is you need to keep an eye on that Zergling count out in the field. Looks like he's trying to hunt that Overlord. It looks like they are going to be able to catch that Overlord over the corner, and are they going to be able to kill it? Just 33 health left. Might be able to run around to the other side and take it out. Looks like this is Zergling that was hanging out at the Zelnaga Watchtower, not going to be able to scout otherwise, though. And it looks like several of these Zerglings just trying to provide some additional defense against just a couple Marines out in the field more, and again, that Marine count continuing to grow. But again, you got to be very careful, because you don't want, it looks like Cheticus very successfully escaping with that Overlord in the meantime, but you want to make sure that you keep an eye on this Zergling count just in case your opponent does in fact go all in with Zerglings. It looks like we have 10 more Zerglings coming on. It looks like speed as well, and this is going to be very late gas as a result. Looks like there's only a single drone on gas currently for Cheticus, which is really going to delay his tech. But again, and that really kind of gives the indication, ooh, Hay, against this many Zerglings, might have wanted to keep that command center inside and transformed it into an orbital, but it looks like right now he's got several Marines here to the south, which are going to be more or less unopposed. Looks like about a line and a half, a little over that, which are unopposed, going to be able to walk into this naturalist secondary. It looks like some of these Zerglings probably going to be able to do a lot of damage, but no biggie for Hay. You can just lift off, sacrifice some Marines, get the SCVs back on the interior, and yeah, after that, and hopefully it looks like he's going to orbital, so that might hurt, but already has 2 Overlords, is putting Cheticus into the red here at the natural, might even be able to take this hatchery if he focuses on it, but it looks like he's going to chase after these drones instead. That Queen is definitely looking weak. Yeah, taken out almost instantaneously. Zerglings attacking that natural, but again, getting nothing past that as there are 3 Marines on the interior and a wall sealed in. Might have done some damage to that orbital, but again, the orbital at this stage can just lift off. More Overlords getting annihilated, down to 12 supply. Ooh, and that's a lot of resources and a lot of Overlords that need to be produced now for Cheticus. But it looks like finally these Marines going to be taken care of, but they have really been worth their weight. Zerglings, drones now getting in there to do some disruptive attacking, and we take a look at the Harvester count. Significant lead there for Hay, 28 to 23, and this, I would say, is kind of his weakest stage. Is usually what you expect from a Zerg player immediately is a counterattack, and he tends to be a little bit light or a little bit late on getting his defenses up for these counterattack situations. So it looks like providing putting down an engineering bay to provide a little bit of additional blockade. Only 4 Marines though, and this is a lot of Zerglings running forward, and he's not going to have sufficient defense to cope with all of this. So as a result, getting nice positioning here though, and this is a really nice engagement point because you can see not all the Zerglings getting proper spread to do the damage. But yeah, more than often you'll see Hay bringing his SCVs off the line to try to provide some defense. And usually where you see like the big gains where he had, the gains tend to fall aside because he ends up losing more SCVs than he really should in kind of these counterattack situations. Still in fantastic position, but yeah, losing a lot of Harvesters there and giving Cheticus a stronger mid-game position than he would have had otherwise with a little bit early bunker or things like that. But anyway, engineering bay is up. He's still at 2 bases. He's in the situation he wants to be in. Has the barracks humming, that reactor getting the combat shield upgrade to make those Marines even stronger. And it looks like you can see a large dedication to Marauder Marine to follow this up. So it looks like just that reactor going to be pumping Marines at this stage, and several Marauders to follow. And actually going to switch over to reactor. It looks like a factory has already been planted to get some siege tanks out as well. So just now Cheticus has his lair up, has his evolution chamber going, again very late on his tech because of that gas switch. Still not in a terrible position getting a hatchery, which really indicates probably Banelings, so he can produce Zerglings and drones simultaneously. Also getting an Overseer out, and so it's probably going to be Roach, Zergling, Baneling combination into the mid game. Has all 4 gas to work with, and also getting a precautionary spine crawlers here on the front door, and really doesn't have fantastic creep tumor spread where you would want a Zerg player to be at this stage. Looks like a Marine running forward, going to be able to do a little bit of that, and actually just going to see the Overseer, going to provide some additional scouting information, just kind of hiking out there. 3 gas currently for Hay in a pretty nice production situation. Still behind overall economically, but it looks like he's tagging on a starport to get the medevacs to try to balance things out. Also supply capped himself a little bit, which is a bit rare for him. Never mind, he actually shooted that fairly quickly. And a little bit late on weapons 1, but again, his economy was a bit disturbed on that follow-up, and it looks like some defensive spore crawlers as well for Cheticus to defend against perhaps, I assume not Banshees, but probably medevacs that are idling out into his line. Siege Tech also being upgraded to help cope with the Banelings in the mid game. And I love these idle Marines that are just stim packing around, running around, checking out things. It looks like now the Marauder Marine attack force moving forward to kind of provide a little bit of threat against that third and make Cheticus a little bit nervous. Again, try to force him to produce more Zerglings. Looks like an infestation pit actually being built, but to produce more defense forces rather than going for just straight Harvester count and try to cut into that a little bit. Looks like he does have a pretty sizable lead in that regard. There's the infestation pit and Baneling nest, and a lot of Zerglings being fielded. So he's just going to check out this 3 o'clock to see if it's up and running, and once he finds that it's not, might kind of test this. It looks like he might take a 6 o'clock location engagement. He's going to be running into a significant force, and perhaps this is kind of an ill-advised attack, but it looks like he's going to run up and do it anyway. But let's see him damaging it. Nice positioning though. He's got a nice kind of cushy corner. The Marauders in front to provide some defense against the Banelings. Unfortunately, I don't think they're piled quite well enough, and yeah, not quite. So the Baneling splash is still going to catch a lot of those Marines, but at the very least he didn't absorb attack. He did keep kind of that moving group down. He is going to have another army fielded fairly quickly, just kind of look at the unit count tab. He already has 9 Marines and another Marauder out, and as a result, that puts Cheticus in kind of a more defensive position. He's only got a couple Banelings to think about taking his 3rd base. He's forced to replenish that. He is going to get some more Harvesters out, but he's still going to be a little bit delayed from taking his 3rd. In the meantime, just looking at the economy tab, looks like Hay is starting to work things together to go ahead and take his own base with the mules. He's actually got a slight economic lead. He's actually doing much better as far as that gas production does. It looks like Cheticus has not resaturated those 3 gas here at the 3 o'clock, which is really going to hurt him, particularly to get those field those Banelings out. And we do have a medevac, it looks like, coming across the top position. So looking for any sort of engagement, and if there is an engagement out here in the middle or at the natural expansion, while and this is what he just excels at this, just a little drop in the back corner on Cheticus's main. I really love how Hay executes this, these sort of attacks. Looks like some Banelings just looking. It looks like also the Overseer Changeling just kind of scouting things out, worried about taking that 3rd base, and it looks like that medevac unscouted to come to that northern base. Looks like a Baneling also looking for this 3rd expansion to the north, which is the most likely expansion we'll see from Hay away from his opponent. Baneling wandering in, does not get any SCV kills, but pretty close there actually. Able to slip through the defenses fairly well. 3 dropships out, several siege tanks, a very formidable attack force. Let's probably going to see some Marauders and a Raven of all things, probably to clear some of those creep tumors. Pathogen glands are upgraded. Going to see some infestors from some fungal growth to try to balance things out. Finally, the 3rd base, very late 3rd from Cheticus. Zerglings wandering up once again. Disco Changeling, it looks like, here to deal with this. But instead, Hay's actually going to wander up and take the gold expansion instead. The Zergling's getting a little bit of a dupe, and this is a beautiful engagement here for Hay. Sending the siege tanks up, mostly to deal with the Banelings, but it looks like it's mostly a Zergling attack force, so he is going to lose the siege tanks, but the infantry easily going to be able to clean it up and safely going to be able to clean it up. So he loses 3 siege tanks, no biggie. Easily takes that gold expansion, and that was all, I think, of Cheticus's attack force. So now Hay going to be able to wander up, maybe even take out this 3rd. This is not very well defended, and immediately, I wasn't even able to keep up with it. Immediately, Hay drops, instinctually just drops in that back corner as soon as he felt this attack pressure. And these Marines are going to draw the Roaches and Marines to the back of the main wall. You see this attack just wander directly in to the natural expansion. So it's going to be very difficult to cope with this kind of combination attack. And this is what Hay really excels at, is this sort of stuff right here, clearing a lot of creep. Looks like sometime will be bought with that fungal growth. Ooh, Fester not dying. I think Hay might actually end up dying in this attack, but able to drop again with those Marines directly on the line. Looks like Sport Caller doing its job, able to take that medevac. But again, Cheticus's backline drones just getting absolutely chewed up. And definitely his economy getting stymied here for the moment. It looks like we're seeing a Spire and a Hive, so I assume we're going to Broodlords here. But Hay, in a nice position, has that very defensive position at the Planetary Fortress. It's way economically ahead. Looks like he still has some medevacs wandering into this 3 o'clock. Actually survived with some. Actually, I think he's there's no way they survived. They must have been some replacement troops here. Maybe not though. Maybe not. So missed a bit of that. Well, I'm gonna pause actually and go back because I can. What was that, about the 16-minute mark? Jumping. Need to figure out a better way to jump this forward. Play. Go to the ×4, ×8. So there's the drop. Here's the engagement. Let's see this engagement again, because I thought this would be cleaned up. And again, kudos to Hay. Yeah, I would thought this attack force would have gotten absolutely annihilated, but apparently stands. Fungal growth, medevacs overhead. Yeah, and it looks like able to take out a lot of those Roaches. Roaches not able to focus fire through it. Weapons 1 is there. I thought there was Carapace 1. Yeah, there is Carapace 1, so just nice micro combination there. And just distraction perhaps from Cheticus. So it looks like this army did in fact survive, going to be able to wander its way to the 6 o'clock, and that's not even saturated. But if there's not a move on from Cheticus, that hatchery very well could be taken out. I'm going to see those Roaches. I think we are now back to poor Infestor. They explode gloriously. I love how the Infestors explode. Okay, here's this engagement now. Looks like there's not going to be a focus fire on the hatchery. Instead, going to try to get as many Roaches as possible. And Hay trying to focus fire a little bit where he can, but not getting a lot of focus fire overall. Medevac's going to be able to retreat, and that is a lot of Roaches now. But still, Harvester count 66, 57, almost twice the economy comparatively for Hay because of the gold expansion and also mules. More Marines and more siege tanks immediately running out. Looks like there's also level 1 armor being upgraded, and Cheticus taking what I would call a very late 4th as well, and hopefully you can get some gas going, because I think, yeah, between adding that Spire on late and getting this hive, I think he is headed towards Broodlord, is going to need a lot more gas to really work with that, and right now his economy is just pathetic comparatively to where it should be. You can see he's trying to get some more drones out to deal with it. He actually is just praying that Hay doesn't attack the 6 o'clock. Is finally starting to saturate this bottom right hand corner. Has a spore colony in those lines to help deal against medevac drops and things like that once again. But Hay's sitting pretty. He's got a very sizable, very scary, wow, a lot of Marines there. Looks like almost 2 full sections of Marines, divisions, I guess I'll call them. A lot of medevacs overhead as well. A little light on the siege tanks, but still sitting pretty, and it looks like still has another Raven to produce out in the field to just kind of keep that creep back. So probably maxed at this stage. Yeah, it looks like he's very close. Has a 60 supply count lead. He's probably going to lose those Marines because I think that was a double fungal right there. Well, maybe not. Okay, single fungal. There's the second fungal though. But will it cost the infestor? No, it does not cost the infestor his life. Oh, poor little Marines there on the corpse. But this is a really nice attack posture here from Hay as a single medevac full of Marines. He can just dump them off on the low ground, tempt some stuff to this corner here while he sets up some siege tanks and some Marines kind of in the low ground, and just kind of does combo attacks from there. And it's really going to be, and also while sending a medevac to the 6 o'clock. So just everywhere at once, and this is what he's fantastic at. Also doing a really good job of spreading the Marines out just in case of the Banelings, and also because of the fungal growth. The infestor's running, it's a trap running in. This being offloaded here at the 6 o'clock for a bit later use. The roaches getting just crushed. The infestor's trying to flee, and wow, now the Marines feeling their metal, just going to run up to the natural expansion, take out a lot of these spine crawlers, and a lot of these roaches here. It looks like, yeah, there's some corruptors, and I think that was planned production for Broodlords. The Broodlord's going to be coming out, but very, very late, and Hay's playing this fantastically. Now the Marines coming to 6 o'clock. Desperately, you see a Queen and 3 spine crawlers trying to be planted, but I don't think these spine crawlers are even going to get up. And look at this stream of Marines already there. The Planetary Fortress provides some defense just right on top of the Mako. Very rarely seen these drop below 200. And yeah, it looks like 2 of the spine crawlers taken out. Some roaches going to be there to help clean this up. But still fantastic positioning here by Hay overall. Broodlords there just because of that siege tank. Siege tank almost more of an enemy in the Marines than anything. You're going to stim pack up, and it looks like run up and just take them out fairly easily just because it's 2. Yeah, easily, quickly, very nicely taking those Broodlords out with the focus fire. And that should be GG from Cheticus. So just highlighting some of the fantastic multi-directional play of Hay, his really strong macro style, his ability to be everywhere at once, his ability to just keep up with everything. Looks like he's going to expand once again, so not falling behind as far as production goes. Another huge group of Marines starting to press forward. And look at that orange just flood across the map. And this as well, he still has a group, a division here at the 3 o'clock. Single infested Terran trying to get something done, just eating some siege tank fire. Wow, I'm actually surprised they even survived one blast. Burrow drones will survive for a moment, but that's not going to make the difference in the long run. So yeah, the Marines just piling in, easily going to be able to take that spine collar out, as well as all these drones. Despite a little bit of trouble they're having with the hatchery there, looks like actually 2 medevacs full of Marines as well here at the 6 o'clock. And yeah, just Hay all over Cheticus's bases. There's GG. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, check out SCReddit.com for the upcoming fantastic tournament. Special thanks to Senum, Feargorm, and everybody involved with the organization of that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for listening.